I'm Larry Maguire, work and organization psychologist. Thanks for checking out the workshop page. This is generative AI for workplace productivity and creativity. And this workshop is a distilled down version of a 6 module program myself and my colleague, Bernie Goldbach, have put together and been running for the past 12 months, delivering to various business groups and educational institutions and so on. And we have shrunk this down, this 6 module program, into a workshop, a digestible workshop that you can use to get your handle on generative AI and how best to use it for yourself and your people in your organization, in your work. And what I'm going to do for you here is just run through the contents of this page a little bit, and then I'm going to go to the slide deck that we use in the workshop itself and show you what you can expect on the inside. This workshop takes place over 2 days, Tuesday the 26th of November and Tuesday the 3rd of December, I do believe. So hopefully you can make it. The sessions are 90 minutes long, and why don't I show you what you can expect from this workshop. All right, you're on this page, so you know where you are. As you scroll down, you will see a nice quote there from Helena McCanny from Dublin City University. You'll see the learning outcomes associated with this, taking this workshop. You'll develop fundamental knowledge of generative AI, what it is, at least in lay terms. You don't need to be a data scientist or a programmer or anything like that in order to do this course, but a foundational understanding of what generative AI, what LLMs are, is helpful to help frame the work that we'll do. You'll understand the capabilities and limitations of generative AI models, what they're good at, maybe what they're not so good at, and which is important. You'll also look at, we will look at some of the broader implications of generative AI and general AI, more specific AI, on society and the environment and jobs and so forth. Again, really important considerations to take into account as we as a workforce, as business people and workers and so forth, head into the future of work, having to upskill and learn how these technologies work. You will learn some practical strategies for effectively using generative AI in your work and in your business, how to gain advantage in productivity and efficiencies and so on. You'll bench test some of these technologies. We will get our hands dirty. We'll test out some of these applications and what they can do and what they can't do. And there are quite a few of them, but we're going to zero in, and it's fair to say zero in on processes rather than particular tools, although we will use tools like ChatGPT, and you will use Copilot, at least you'll see Copilot at work. So there will be hands-on practical work done in this workshop. You'll understand, and perhaps this is better at the very top of the conversation when we talk about generative AI models. You'll learn about the ethical implications of these models. We'll touch on the AI Act in the EU and what it means for the development and rollout of these technologies and the protection of our human rights and our digital rights as well. And you'll also look at what our friends in the US are doing in respect to ethics and regulations and so on as well. But the main bulk of the work is going to be hands-on, practical work, and hence, this is a workshop. As you move down through the page, you'll see who this is for. We're focused on people who are aware of this material, are maybe a little bit apprehensive about getting their hands dirty, and want perhaps a little bit of help in understanding what's achievable and what's not. So if you run a business, if you manage people, if you just manage yourself, if you're a freelancer or a consultant or otherwise work for yourself, these tools can help you do your work better. It's also for managers and supervisors, and if you're simply technologically curious, it's for you too. You'll find buttons throughout the page here to register for this workshop. What you will need and what you don't need. You'll need a computer, of course, because it's taking place on Zoom over 2 sessions, 2 90-minute sessions. 2 90-minute sessions of your time will be required. You'll need an open and curious mind, willingness to experiment, and you'll also need a ChatGPT account. A plus account would be really advantageous. It only costs 20 quid a month, and you can cancel it the next day if you like, and you still have access for 28 days or 30 days. What you don't need is a degree in computer science or data science. You don't need to know how to code. You don't need IT skills or experience in IT or any of these applications for that matter. You just need to be willing to test this out and see what it's all about. And what we're ultimately aiming towards is digital transformation. So what is that? Well, it's having a growth mindset in the terms made famous by Carol Dweck, psychologist, on learning and development. Being open-minded, open to learning and embracing change. This is fundamental to navigating our way as small business people, workers, consultants, what have you, in the world of work. Being open to change, not resistant to it. And we'll help guide you through that. It's critical to recognize that there will be resistance in various pockets. We need to know how to empower ourselves and other individuals to continually upgrade our digital skills. That's what we're doing, upgrading digital skills here. What you will obtain from taking part, what's available to you at the end of this workshop, 3 hours of training. After 3 hours of training, you'll get the slides, you'll get the resources that are associated with this workshop, and you'll also get a recording of each of the sessions. Some testimonials here from people who I've worked with and Bernie has worked with in the past and who've taken these courses. Maybe that'll help you make a decision. If you're still a little bit apprehensive about taking this course, fear not. We have a money-back guarantee. If you're not happy with the content, if you're not happy with the material, if it's way below where you are or you're just not interested in it, just send me an email and we'll organize a refund. No questions asked. A little bit about myself and Bernie, opportunity to book your place and some frequently asked questions as well. Okay, let me just zip inside the slides here. And you can see what's going on. I'm not going to present. I'm just going to whip through them here as they sit. So on the course itself, we'll just go through, myself and Bernie, what we're about. And the structure of the content, we'll get into generative AI, and we'll spend about maybe 20 minutes, half an hour on this. What it is, what is generative AI? What are LLMs, large language models? What are neural networks? It serves us to know this. And indeed, what is ChatGPT? And we'll get into the pros and cons of generative AI. We'll talk about the good and bad of ChatGPT and other applications. And then the real work, where the bulk of the energy will go, is in section 2, practical applications of ChatGPT. That's where we'll spend most of our time. We'll roll into general tips on using generative AI and ChatGPT and using generative AI models as AI assistants in the course of our work. Some tips on staying organized, some other AI tools that you might want to look at, and then we round it off with a summary and Q&A at the end of each session. So this material will be spread over 2 sessions, as I said. Your competencies will be tested. We're getting our hands dirty. You'll be exposed to new material, new terminology. You'll be asked to experiment. You'll acquire new tools to help you become more productive and creative at work. And you will also be asked to consider your own personal ethical position and the ethical position of your organization in using these tools. Data may be compromised, so it's worth knowing how that all works as well. And also, we might be wrong. We might not have the answers for everything. In fact, you guys often have, in our experience of running these courses, these modules, you guys often have answers that we don't have. And through this collaborative learning, we upskill each other and we help each other learn. So that's a feature of this workshop. You'll get access to the learning resources in the product page when you access your account on Peak Performer, learn.humanperformance.ie. Images, files, PDFs, recordings will be there for you. What else have we got? Intro to ChatGPT. What is general? Okay, we get into a few of these things. The AI Act, the aims of the AI Act, the US National Security Memorandum on AI. They're doing something about it. We'll talk about ChatGPT. We'll talk about the versions of ChatGPT. We look at some ChatGPT stats. We look at the fall off in ChatGPT uses. We'll ask ourselves, is generative AI a bubble? Some seem to think it is. We look at some benefits. We look at the downsides and some influential figures and what they have to say in that regard. asking ourselves, should we be concerned? Well, I think we should. Jeffrey Hinton, we look at his views on generative AI. And then we'll get into a bit of information around what is human intelligence and why it's important to understand that generative AI is simply a tool to augment human intelligence rather than something that's going to take over. What else have we got for you? Moving on into the practical applications of ChatGPT. We'll look at setting up your account from scratch. So if you don't have your account set up, we'll help you with that. We will also ask ourselves if ChatGPT understands us. What does it mean to understand? We will look at working with images, various ways we can use generative AI models to work with images. We will work with PDFs in ChatGPT. We will look at creating presentations with ChatGPT, really provides a great advantage. We will look at creating audio, some really smart advances in terms of text to audio applications. We look at data sets, how we can use ChatGPT to extract data and information from large data sets, Excel files, and so forth. We look at prompts for better tips for better prompts, rather. What else have I got for you in here? We will look at tips for better document structure. If you're creating documents in your work and you're filing stuff away, we've got some tips for you on how better to organize yourself in that regard. And then we look at some ways in which we can manage our digital knowledge and some tools that will help us with that. Enter a Q&A, that's in session 2, and we'll round off with a few other bits and pieces and so forth. So that really kind of captures most of what we'll cover. If you like the sound of this, I hope to see you. Let me just do this here. On Tuesday, the 26th. And we'll get stuck into this material. It's a learning curve, there's no doubt about it. And we're constantly learning, constantly have to stay up to speed on how these technologies are developing. Bernie is a lecturer in digital media studies and the Technical University at the Shannon. I'm a work and organisational psychologist. I lecture at a number of colleges here in Dublin and deliver course material such as this. So hopefully you see the benefit in taking part in this workshop, and we'll see you on the 26th. If you have any questions, shoot me an email, larry@humanperformance.ie, and hope to see you there. Okay, thanks for watching. Subscribe, registration buttons are below. Hit those buttons, and we'll see you soon. All the best.